Joyce. Tukiongelea the topic, kuna topic ambayo tuko nayo. Tumehype tangu morning na we are here to actualize the topic.
Wakati umefika sasa.
Drug and substance abuse.
Drug and substance
na
abuse.
Leo tunazungumzia iseme madam. Inaitwa
cannabis,
hiyo kitu
marijuana.
Hatutaki kusema hiyo jina nyingine.
Presidential candidates wengine wanataka iwe legalized.
Ni manifesto ya mtu madam.
So as it's being legalized, let's have information about it.
We know what is being legalized.
We know what exactly it is. We know what exactly it is. Even as they are thinking of legalizing it, of course I'm hoping not, but their justification looks like it is a real good justification, but in the real sense, if you look at the effects that it has, then you see there is really no need of that. But that is Wajakoyo's thinking.
We are not hatumpingi Wajakoya wala sisi tuko. We are just sharing information.
Yes, we just want to give information.
Exactly.
We just want to give information.
By any chance you get it, you know what it means. Usisema ati amukutuambia ama mbona mlituambia. So you know it.
So Chacha, when we talk about drugs and substance abuse, we have legal drugs and we have illegal drugs. Like now when we are talking about cannabis sativa, that's an illegal drug. Of course, it is rampant. It's very rampant. It's all over, you know. There is a lot of it everywhere, but it is still an illegal drug in Kenya. There are some countries that have legalized it, but they monitor it, or they have a way of monitoring it, where it is administered. They even check your weight. They even check the dose that you need to get, and so on. So there's some countries that have done that, but Kenya, we haven't done that. So it is an illegal drug in Kenya, although we have other drugs that are legal, like alcohol is a drug. It is legal. Cigarettes are, tobacco is a drug. It is legal. So really, there are some legal drugs and illegal. Then when we talk about drugs, also we have medical drugs. We have medical drugs that can also be abused. So this issue of drugs and substance abuse, it is wide. It is quite wide, because we have legal drugs that can be abused. We have medical drugs that can be abused. And we also have illegal drugs that can also be abused. Like now when we talk about cannabis sativa or marijuana or bang or what do you call it also here around? What do you call it? Ama amtaki kusema. Mnaitaje huko?
Wanaita dukuru.
Bangi. Kishasha. Hemp. Mghoi.
Vijana wanajua. Vijana wanaelewa.
Polyhab. Grass.
The holy hub.
Pot. Hizo zote mnaziita. It has been nicknamed. It is a plant, and what is taken is the leaves and the flowers and also the seeds. So really, it is just a drug. Now, the reason why I decided to talk about weed specifically is because it is quite rampant. It's very rampant. Unapiga kona hii iko. Of course watu kama sisi hatujuangi mahali ziko. Lakini wale ambao wanatumia wanajua mahali ziko. Na sijui wanajuanga aje. Sijui wanajuanga nani anauza.
Birds of the same feather.
Now that is a big question.
Birds of the same feather. Maybe the listeners wanaweza to text watuambie vile
In fact, dear listener, you should be telling hatutakujia na police.
Yes, but watuambie how do they get to know where these drugs are being sold? Because when me I'm walking around, I don't see. But then I am told ukifika hapo stage utapata. Ukifika pale utapata.
If you want to get this thing, Madam Joyce, declare yourself as kama mmoja wao.
Kama one of them. Then utaweza kujua. Now weed has around over 400 chemicals. That's the reality of it. It has over 400 chemicals that are known, and the major ones are two, or the ones that are mostly studied, they are about two. We have THC and we have cannabinoids. THC is delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. So that is there are two chemicals that basically people have studied, but it has over 400 chemicals. It has over 400 chemicals. Now when we talk about weed, what causes people to use the weed? What causes people to use the weed? Or what is it that makes people feel like they want to use, or students or youth.
It is so rampant, Madam Joyce, especially for high school students and campus. In fact, what is so shocking, Madam Joyce, even the female gender.
The female gender. Unfortunately,
what is really,
unfortunately,
really,
the female gender that initially, the female gender were the trusted ones, and people used not to think that girls can do anything that is harmful. They were very good.
Holy creatures consuming holy plants.
Sijui kwa nini mmeharibu hawa wasichana nyinyi.
Lakini ni dhana ambazo zimekuwa.
So some of the reasons why people take drugs, one of them is negative peer pressure. Negative peer pressure. We have good peer pressure and bad peer pressure. I hope you know you can influence each other positively or negatively. Then the social media influence, it's terrible. Social media influence is terrible. Like, I don't know, the songs that are sung. Hata kuna nyimbo inasema nilewe. Nilewe tu. And then kuna zingine zina praise weed. Si mnazijua?
Exactly.
Kama gani?
So, ganja farmer.
Ganja farmer and so on. So another reason why people abuse this drug is because of the social media influence, the songs that are there, they're talking about it, the movies that are showing people taking, weed and so on. Then we also have poor role models. Who is your role model? If a student will come to campus and take weed, what will happen to a primary school student? He will see this campus student taking weed and he will say, okay, this has been my role model. I've been desiring to go to campus. Kumbe, if you go to campus, you can take weed. So poor role modeling. Poor role modeling. Then we have also availability of the drugs. If there was nobody selling this drug, we would have nobody abusing it.
But madam, it is illegal.
It is illegal
in Kenya.
It is illegal.
Why is it available?
And yet it is available. Yet it is quite available. And that's the most unfortunate thing. The reason why it's available is because they make money out of it. Although, unfortunately, people who do drugs, even if they make money, that money doesn't, in the final end, help them. Because of the cries of the people. Because of the pain of families. So in the final, even when you look at, I hope the drug dealers are not hearing me, but
I was almost coming there.
If you look at the people that sell those drugs, they are miserable fellows. They are really miserable fellows. They are miserable fellows that really, if you look at them and you're told this one is selling drugs, you even wonder what he uses that money for, because it's not helping him. So anyway, availability of drugs, ziko kwa wingi, ziko everywhere, Then we also have lack of life skills. Lack of life skills. That is, students and the youth don't have life skills. Life skills will help you to be assertive, so that when you say no, remains no, and you don't regret about it. So lack of life skills like assertiveness, lack of life skills like self-awareness. When you're aware of yourself and you value yourself, you would not do anything that will hurt you or distract you or destroy you, because drugs are a self-destructive activity. You yourself, you are destroying yourself. When you take the drugs, you are destroying yourself. Now, anybody who destroys themselves, they don't know the value they have. They don't know the value that they carry. So lack of life skills like assertiveness, like self-esteem, self-awareness, decision-making skills, just deciding, everybody else around me is taking this weed, I'm not going to take it.
Madam,
yes.
When I come up, when I gathered some information from our fans, they told me that we are in this. I can't mention their names.
Okay, yes.
And that's why they
me.
told
What reasons did they give? Yes.
We are in this.
Yes.
And we hatujui vile tunatoka.
Okay.
Na hatujui vile tuliingia.
Okay.
And some even, I gathered information across almost 3 people, 4 people. Mwenye nauza.
Yes.
Mwenye, na msinikujie mniambie penye wako.
Unaonaje James? Tukujie baadaye. Tutafikiria.
Because I wanted to have full information.
Yes.
Why is it?
Okay.
Wakaniambia, CJ, why are you people so much into this? And yet tuko na drugs zingine. Mbona mnaona bangi ndio drugs, zingine ni chakula?
Okay.
And now, madam, directing the same question to you.
Yes.
Mbona bangi? Si ingine?
Because bangi is quite common. It is quite common, and their effects they are dire. The effects of weed, they may not come immediately, but gradually. It comes gradually. And the people who are getting affected by that drug, sometimes they don't know that it is affecting them. They really don't know that it is affecting them. Now, the reason why, okay, we may talk about other drugs. Even other drugs have equally, they have a lot of effects also. But we are talking about weed because it is destroying the students. It is destroying the youth. Weed has so many consequences and so many negative effects. So that's why we are talking about it. Because I wish they can know the effects of this weed. I don't know how many people or how many old men that started taking the weed from the time they were young, and now they have grown old, they are still taking what? Weed. Most people who abuse drugs, they die at an early age. They die at an early age. So that's why we are really talking about this drug. Now, what does weed do in a nutshell? In a nutshell, what does weed do in a nutshell? There are many other effects that we will talk about. But in a nutshell, what weed does, every time someone is puffing in weed, it kills the brain cells one by one. Brain cells.
Na nilikuwa nimesikia eti ukitaka kama hesabu inakulemea pale. Unajua kuna wale wanakuanga na dhana ati kama hesabu inakulemea pale. Wewe ukivuta hii kitu unaanza kuwa more active.
Those are myths. And I'll tell you why that myth. I'll tell you why that myth. I just hold it there. So weed, every time someone puffs it in, it kills the brain cells one by one. It kills one by day. Yes, day by day, puff by puff. It kills the brain cells. Now what happens in the final end? The brain shrinks. The brain shrinks. So it starts lowering coordination. The coordination, how you coordinate your body, how you coordinate even your thinking, how you coordinate yourself. Someone who has taken weed for a long time can even step on live charcoal, and they don't get to know they're burning. Immediately you step on live charcoal, immediately you step like this, your brain tells you that there is something so you remove your leg very quickly. But weed takes time. That information starts loading slowly by slowly. By the time it reaches your brain and you remove your leg, you've already burnt. That is why people who have taken weed, a lot of weed, when you crack a joke, right now, they don't laugh.
That is true.
They delay. Why are they delaying? Because coordination is slowed. So that joke is loading. The joke is loading. So inaendelea pole. Sa ile mnataka kutoka mtu anapasua. Unashindwa.
I have witnessed that.
That is the time the joke has reached the brain and it has clicked that was supposed to be a joke. So it slows coordination. It slows coordination. Body movement, everything. It slows coordination. Brings a lot of laziness. Brings a lot of, other effects. That now, let's go to that that weed, if you, the myth that if you take weed, if you don't understand maths, utaichafua. If you take weed and you don't understand physics, you'll be able to understand it. It's because weed is a focusing drug. Weed is a focusing drug. When you take it focusing on something, you will do it. But then it will not have the limit of stopping. Ukipatia mtu ambaye anavuta bangi, ukimpatia shamba umwambie lima hapa, alafu avute bangi akisema nataka nilime hii shamba, utampata amelima mpaka kwa jirani. Manake hawezi stop, amefocus. Akili yake imefanya nini? Imefocus kule. So anaweza lima mpaka lime shamba ya jirani, he will dig, because it delays a lot of coordination. So really, that is those are some of the effects of weed. Now, when they talk about you'll be able to pass, it's because that person, when they take weed and they say, I want to read this physics, they may actually read it completely. And maybe the first 2-3 months or so, he will be able to perform well in that because he has focused on it. But after that, coordination is slowed, and therefore the person will become even more worse than he was before,
because the
in understanding, because the brain has changed, because there is slowing of coordination. The brain cells are dying one by one.
Is there a reason, madam, that can be making these people to smoke? Because sincerely speaking, whenever you're doing something, there's some benefit, either personal benefit, health, or maybe mentally.
Walikuambia nini by the way? Hebu tuambie vile
kuna kitu lazima.
Hii hapa.
Lazima kuna kitu. You cannot be doing it without necessarily understanding why you're doing it.
Now, we need to understand, before someone starts taking drugs or before someone starts taking that particular weed, there are stages of drug use or drug abuse. Number one, we have before someone starts using the drug, there is the experimental stage. The person, maybe you are in a group somewhere, mmoja anachomoa, anachomoa, anasema mnaweza nini kitu. I don't know how they do it, but I'm imagining that's how they do it, as they are in a group there, mtu mmoja ako nayo amebeba, anachomoa, anasema si uonje. Kuna mtu pale hajawahi tumia, so curiosity inamwanza pale. Curiosity, he becomes curious. So he says wacha tu nionje kidogo. So anaweka puff moja. That is the first stage. Experimental stage that has been led by curiosity. Ama unasikia watu wanaongea about something sana, so unasema wacha ni find out kwani hii kitu inakaaje. So there is that curiosity, then the person goes for it. Experimental stage. Now most people and most students or youth, they stop there. After experimental, anakohoa, anaumwa na kichwa, anagaga pale, anaona vitu zikizunguka, alafu anasema mimi hii sitagusa tena. So it ends there at experimental stage. Then if it doesn't end at experimental stage, it goes to the next stage, which is the social stage. Social stage is madam, mimi sivutangi bangi, lakini nikiwa na my friends hivi, kama kuna mtu amebeba, mimi uvuta kidogo tu. Upuff kidogo. That is social stage. Ako kwa social stage. Anavuta tu wakati ako na wengine. Then ikitoka hapo inaenda instrumentalization or instrumental stage. Instrumental stage is anatumia tu wakati kuna kitu anataka. Tuseme kama anataka kukatia msichana na anaona hataweza. Anasema wacha ni gather courage by taking this kidogo, alafu nitamfuata, nitamwambia kile kitu nataka kumwambia. So anaitumia as an instrument. I am using it because I want to do this or that. So inatoka hiyo stage, inaingia habitual stage. Now habitual stage is the addiction stage. Habitual stage is now you've made it a habit. That ukiamka asubuhi ndio ukue normal, lazima utumie. Jioni ndio ulale, lazima utumie. Lunchtime ndio ukule vizuri, lazima ufanye nini? Utumie. Sasa inafika habitual stage, which is the dependency, the addiction stage and dependency. Now you are depending on it. You cannot sleep unless you have taken. You cannot wake up and do anything unless you have taken. It now gets to that particular stage. And then finally, it goes to dependency stage, which is substance use disorder. Substance use disorder. So it reaches now the last stage, which is now dependency. Totally, this person is dependent on this. And if they don't use...
I cannot work without.
Yes, and if they don't use, they become sick, which we call withdrawal symptoms. You when you withdraw from it now, you become sick. They start shivering. They start, acting erratic. Some of them even start becoming temporarily mad, psychotic, and all that. So they now continue to use because now they are at dependency stage. So those are some of the reasons why the reasons why students use or youth use drugs. And these are the stages from one stage to another. It goes gradually. Now, I want you to note that the first time someone takes drugs, they are doing it willingly. They are either because of curiosity and say, na hii kitu inaonjaje, let me try. It's willing. They are willing to try it. They are willing to try it. When they are at social stage, they are again willing. Because we are together. Because we are together and you are taking. Let me also do what? Take. So they are still that stage. They are still in control of they're in control of their body and they're in control of what they are doing. But now as it goes on, weed takes away your will. Initially it is at will. I can or I can. I can stop or I can continue. But after some time, it takes away your will totally, so that they are not able to come out of it. No wonder they are telling you, Chacha, we are in this thing, na tujui tutatoka aje.
Dear listener, I tell you, Educative Tuesday is taking effect, is taking the wheels. Asubuhi ya leo msikilizaji, tamu tena zaidi, inakuwa ni tamu msikilizaji. Sijui unatupata ukiwa wapi, lakini it is so amazing. We are coming back in a few. Madam Joyce atuambie, I'm already neat.
Ndio.
So what?
Na wengine tunajua.
Hii nimekongwa sana.
Ndio, wengine wanasema kwamba mimi niko na marafiki ambao wanatumia. Mimi kwangu situmii. Nikiwaacha pale sina rafiki mwingine. Wataniona mimi kama mdogo. Unaona? So nitafanya aje bwana?
Kama sitaki kuwa rafiki wao.
Hii kitu iko na medicinal value.
Exactly. Yeah, actually that is one of the things.
Wanasema hivyo.
Ndio nikauliza. So yeah, it is there. Unajua kuna kitu iko.
Haya, mweke hiyo maswali tatu. Ni tatu.
Exactly.
Wewe umeuliza, I'm in it. So what? Wewe umesema medicinal value na umesema friends. Haya.
Miaka 7 niko kule ndani. So unaniambia mwaka wa 8 niache. Bado kuniambia mwaka wa kwanza. We are coming back, na pia kuna mtu anauza ana earn a livelihood from that. Hana kazi. Amejaribu kazi zote ofisi, ameambiwa you don't qualify.
Hiyo ndio mzuri ya kuua watoto wa wengine. Commerce without morality.
We are back again.
Ndio. Tuko na Madam Joyce Mghoi. Bado tunaendelea kuzungumza kuhusu drug and substance abuse. Tunazungumzia sana kuhusu weed, kishash, kidom,
the holy plant. I don't know which criteria they use to understand that it is holy, and the only thing I know it's holy.
It is the only holy plant.
I don't know.
I think
it is related by Eden, the Garden of Eden. Because God created plants.
But God put so many plants there, including the apple.
The myths around
Why are we not eating apples and saying this is a holy?
Wanasema pia ukipiga bangi wewe utashikwa na mapepo.
Actually, yeah, that's another myth.
So it's holy.
So the myth around this, you may argue with me because I don't use it. But if I give you the person who is using it to argue with him or her, you won't win. Coming back, Madam Joyce, I'm already in the drug. What next? This is my love.
You're already in it. What next? There is hope. Because even as far as there are people that do things for a long time, even almost all their years, and one day they just sit down and they say enough is enough. They weigh the pros and the cons. They weigh the advantages and the disadvantages. And when they see the disadvantages are weighing more than the advantages, they just wake up one morning and they say, I have had enough of this. I know so many people that were using drugs, and they just woke up one morning and they said, I cannot continue with this anymore. I have had enough. And actually it ends there. I've had enough. Others also come out because of maybe change of religion, or change of their spirituality. There are people who one day as they are passing, someone is preaching, and they just stand and they say, I think I've had enough. And they actually become Christians, and they don't use anymore. They don't use anymore.
And then Christian use that, that is now the
problem. I know there are Christians that use that. But there are people who are committed to God, and they say, I cannot use this because I am destroying my own body, which is the temple of the Holy Spirit. The temple of the Holy Spirit. So there are people who have that enlightenment. There are people that have that enlightenment. Then another thing is that we also have counseling services. We also have counseling services where you can be helped to be able to go through therapy and to be able to explore the reasons why you are using, look at the disadvantages or the effects that you have had that have made you, suffer in one way or another. And finally, the person is able to stop. Actually, as you are saying, Chacha, those people that are in it, they have so many reasons why they are in it. But let me tell you one thing. They give all these reasons because they are not able to stop it. That is why they have all these excuses. It's called denial. It's called denial. It's a defense mechanism. Denial is an defense mechanism. There are many other defense mechanisms, but one of them is denial. So because they want to deny that this thing is affecting them or this thing is not good enough, they actually want to pose it as if it is good, and they deny that it has effects in them. So that's denial and defense mechanism of wanting to say this thing is good. I don't want, I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's that. There are all those excuses that they're giving. The truth of the matter is, no matter how long you use weed, there are people that get affected with weed. There is also something that I want to say. When you are saying that there are some people that use it and they are not dirty, or they are dressed smartly and so on, and you really cannot know that they are using weed. All our bodies are different. All our bodies are different. And our bodies react differently to different things. There is somebody who will take 2 beers and they will start singing in mother tongue and running up and down and even removing clothes. True or false? And there's someone who will take 12, 13, 14 bottles of beer and they're just looking at you like this. They are stable. So don't think that the way weed acts on another person will act the same way in you. Wewe unaweza ijaribu uende nayo. Mwingine anaweza jaribu na buy time. Alafu imu affect probably later on. So you cannot really say, si huyo anatumia na ako tu sawa. Yes, anaweza kuwa ako sawa. Jaribu wewe. Some people also, weed also triggers mental health problems, even schizophrenia. You see some people who are mad or abnormal, the ones that we call mad, but they are psychotic. There are people who have a kind of psychosis in their family, but it is not active. These people, when they try weed, they become abnormal. Totally abnormal. They become abnormal. They start picking peppers and so on around. Because in their family, there is a psychosis. Let me not really call it gene, but they are predisposed to psychosis. It's just like when we say someone in a family, they are predisposed to diabetes. So you will find that these people, you find maybe the parents had diabetes and the children also will have diabetes. So there'll be children who will take care of themselves. They will never manifest that diabetes. There are those who will not take care of themselves and they will manifest their diabetes. So the same thing. There are families of people who are psychotic. They have some kind of a psychosis. So if they don't, if they use drugs, they become full-blown psychosis. While if they don't use, they are just ordinary people. So really, this weed does different things in different people. But the truth of the matter is, the more you continue to take it, the more it affects you. In the final end.
So medicinal,
medicinal, I'm agreeing with you. Actually, let me say this. The excuse that people give that weed is medicinal, so let us take it. I normally look at it this way. Chloroquine is a medicine. Inatreat nini? Malaria. Sindio? How come we don't wake up every morning and we take chloroquine? Because it is medicinal. Why don't we take it? How come we don't wake up every morning and we take antibiotic? Because antibiotics, ampiclox and all that, it is medicinal. Kwa nini kila asubuhi tusiamke tukunywe? Panadols, si ni medicine. Mbona asubuhi atuamuki kila saa asubuhi saa sita na jioni, we are taking what? Panadols. Why are we not taking it? Because we are not sick. Isn't it? So these people that are taking weed and saying it is medicinal, are they sick?
No, they are not.
No, they are not. That's an excuse to use weed. It's an excuse, it's a myth. Because you take medicine when you are sick. Why are you taking weed if you are not sick? In case actually weed is medicinal. Because they are saying that weed can also be used to alleviate pain in people who have terminal sicknesses, like maybe cancer and other sicknesses that are serious, that it can be used. They are saying that. Fine. But you who does not have any pain, you who is not sick, why are you using weed? Because the more you use a drug, the more it affects you. Isn't it? So why are they using it and not seeing that hii hata kama ni dawa, vile tunaitumia sio si vizuri. So all those are myths and they are excuses and defense mechanism to continue to use weed. It's possible weed has some medicinal value. But the one that people take is the whole of it. It has not been extracted. The medicinal part, you know, that medicinal chemical, because I've told you it has over 400 chemicals. So there could be chemicals there that are medicinal, but they have not been separated from the bad chemicals. Because what people take is a whole thing. Leaves, you know, the flowers and all that. It's a whole thing. So hawajatoa ile medicinal ndio waseme sasa mimi nakupatia ile dozi ya dawa peke yake. Hii ingine yenye iko na negative effects sikupatii. Wanakupatia yote. And anyway, under normal circumstances, James, if I came here with a glass of juice, very nice tasting juice, then I tell you, hii juice ni mzuri sana. Lakini ndani, nimeweka karatrat kadogo. Will you take it?
No.
Definitely no.
Madam Joyce.
The same thing with this weed thing. If you are told, okay, this thing is good, it has something good, but inside it, there is poison. Why are we taking it? Why are we taking it? So I think we need to really understand what this weed is, and we really need. And then another reasoning that I use is, if all these countries that have banned or had banned weed, they had said this is not a good drug, so it became illegal in most of the countries, actually the whole world almost. But now, slowly because of this reasoning, because some people were making these decisions and these policies, some people also either favor it for money, just like our presidential candidate, for money. If we are going to grow it and sell it and get money and pay all the bills that we have, then we go ahead and do what? And sell it. So some of these people are making policies, are either seeing it as a source of money, or they could also be using, or for one reason or another, they think it's okay. So that's why you see pockets of countries now are starting to do what? To legalize it. They're starting to legalize it. So in the real sense, it has a lot of effects. But now, because of all those other circumstances, now you see people legalizing it here and there. But does legalizing it reduce the effects of it? No. It does not reduce the effects of it.
You know, in this, Madam Joyce, parents, guardian, teachers, and wherever, they are very innocent. They even don't know, really. Unajua unaweza ukaishi na mtoto, you don't know kama anavuta.
By the way, it is very true.
Do we need to educate our parents? We realize, wakikuangalia wanajua, which criteria as a parent, as a teacher? Ni mwalimu, sindio? Umekaa na mtu, form 1 mpaka form 4, amekuwa akitumia the same. But I don't know.
You don't know.
What should we do?
There are very many ways to know whether your child is using or not. And somehow, let me tell you, it doesn't matter how long you hide. Utajulikana. Mtu akiwa close na wewe atajua tu. In the final end, they will be able to know if they are keen. Someone can hide for 1 year, 2 years, but in the final end, a parent will be able to know, or the guardian will be able to know. One of the signs that someone has taken weed is red eyes. The red eyes is because weed dilates the blood veins. It dilates to be able to accommodate more, you know. So that dilation comes even up to the eyes, and therefore the eyes become a bit red. Sometimes they become sleepy, or you can see someone, their eyes are looking like they are sleepy, and yet this person is quite awake. You can see that. Dry lips is another sign that someone is taking weed. Dry lips, sometimes they are cracked, sometimes they are dark, sometimes, you know, they are generally dry. The saliva, the person does not have proper saliva. So they can be able to know in one way or another. Then the person becomes sloppy in one way or another in doing things, just because I've told you there is a slow coordination and so on. So the person may become even sloppy in doing some things. Academic performance may go down. Diligence may go down. You know, the way they were diligent in doing this or that, it actually starts going down. So there are things that you can be able to look at someone and know that this person is actually using some drugs. Then they become they give a lot of excuse. If it is an activity that they're supposed to do, sometimes they don't do that activity. They run away even from family meetings or family functions. They find excuses to escape those functions. They become loners. Sometimes they don't want to mix with people so much because of what they are doing. So there are ways that someone can be able to know. And then we'd also enhances digestive digestion. It enhances digestion. It also enhances digestion, and that's why people who take weed, they eat a lot because
ngoja
sisemi kitu, but it also does that. So there are a number of effects that weed has, and parents can be able to know. Parents can be able to identify. Back to your question, when you said, I've been with these friends and my friends are using, but me, I don't use.
I don't use.
Birds of the same feather flock together. And then there is the power of association. If you associate with people for long that are doing things that are not right, your thinking will also change, and you will not know at what point it changed. You just become complacent. If there are things you are telling them don't do, you keep quiet. You don't tell them anymore, and then finally you join them in doing some of those things. So that idea of saying these are the only friends I have, I cannot have other friends, again, that's another excuse that we give. Let me tell you, if a friend is not serving your purpose, leave them, because they will either pull you into their devices, into their habits, their vices, or you will actually not move, or you will not progress in your life. So it's very, very important for us to say, sina shida na wewe, sijagombana na wewe, na sina shida na wewe, but spending most of my time with you, it's a no. Why? Because of this. And you may not need to tell them. You may not need to tell them because you may not be able to tell them. But you can make yourself busy and scarce. And then you move from those friends, and you end up getting better friends, or friends that can be able to help you, or you are able to progress better than those particular friends.
Now in schools, madam.
Yes.
Kuna kitu inakuwaga kwa barabara, alcohol. Tutafute kitu kama hiyo ya banki. Ndio kwa shule.
Tutafute umbwa.
Yes, sleep dogs.
By the way, kuna shule ile walikuwa na report hivi juzi. Niliona wakiwa wanafunzi wengi sana walikuwa wameripotiwa kuwa na bangi kwenye mifuko yao. Unakumbuka hiyo madam?
Uko na bangi mingi kuliko sabuni.
Ndio.
Wewe ni mwanafunzi. You are reporting to school.
The vile kitu ni cost.
Na umebeba. Na umebeba wewe kama mwanafunzi, umejibebea stock.
Na imagine you've traveled more than 3 counties. Umetoka kwa gari moja umeenda kwa gari nyingine, labda umepatwa hapo na wewe nini,
na juu inakaa sigara hata haijavujika wewe.
Haijavujika, umeichunga kabisa. Umeichunga. My heart goes out for parents, and my heart goes out for this generation. My heart actually goes out because I know that in the final end, this weed, these drugs will destroy a generation. That one I am convinced about. Because, I mean, you can hide, you can hide me. Like now I can meet you and you can hide me. You can tell me I don't do this, but you cannot hide your body. Your body will give in no matter whatever it is that you are using in your body that should not be in your body. Finally, your body will give in. Your body will give in one way or another. Do you know, weed also, in ladies, it affects female ovulation. Weed affects female ovulation. It affects female ovulation. The females decrease the ovulation. That means there are lesser eggs to be brought to the uterus for them to be fertilized. Other than that, it also affects the sperms. It also affects the sperms. So this is a generation that is going to be destroyed by this particular drug if actually they don't stop using it. It's going to be destroyed by this. It has an effect. It has an effect in our bodies. I've told you about slowing coordination.
Exactly.
I've told you about euphoria, It has euphoria, someone feels euphoric, those people. Again, another way of knowing whether someone is using some kind of, is if they are talkative people, when they use weed, they may become less talkative. silent.
Wow.
You know, they may become less talkative.
The effect has so died, dear listeners. 57 minutes is mekata baada ya sabiri. Just 30 seconds for you, Madam Joyce, because this topic is so huge. I think we can even extend it next week.
It's very huge. We can probably talk about it next week. We can talk about it next week. But the information that I'm giving you is what should be there. There are signs of addiction and all that. You can be able to look at them. What I'm going to tell those that are listening to me is that whatever kind of drug, right now we are talking about weed, but we can even talk about tobacco, which is a legal drug. Does it mean that it has less
Holy there,
effects?
madam. Holy
I am
holy there.
So,
holy there. Hautaki kumwaga mtama wa Jumanne. What you're doing, hakikisha dear listener,
there is hope though. There is hope.
Is there hope?
There is hope. There is hope. There is hope.
Even if it's 10
there
years,
is hope.
There is hope.
There is hope.
It's light at the end of the tunnel, dear listener. Ama namna gani ndugu?
Hiyo ni kweli, lakini mimi vile naweza sema ni no matter how many countries or no matter how many people legalize it, let's say no to bang.
Let's say no to bang. Kama ni halali, kama ni nzuri, mbona usitembee nayo hapo kwa njia ukini. Mmaliza jamani, we meet next Tuesday. Asante sana Madam Joyce. It is so amazing hosting you.
Sawa sawa.